Yeah. Yeah. Shit. Grams leaders CC's pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders of grams, get your dosed up, cut this up and post up, and get dosed up. This for them voted like the movement, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk they can't relate. I gotta elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in them trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that truth serum hooked directly to your veins. Hey, this is for my people, tune in, catch a close-up. Close-up, close-up, a close-up. Grams of it, tune in, liters of it, close-up. Pounds of it, pounds of it. Yeah, grams of it, liters of pounds. Get your dosed up, dosed up, dosed up.
Yeah, alright, so we are back. I'm Shootah, aka Dose. Lab just let off a few on you, so you know he in the building.
That's right, that's right.
You know, I think this is kind of a special day. Before I even jump into my weekend,
Okay.
I'm going ahead and talk about this little diet eclipse real quick.
The diet eclipse.
I called it the diet eclipse because, hey, I've been blessed to see 2 of them in my
Okay.
lifetime.
Okay.
The one in the 80s was on like that vampire shit. When you stepped outside, you know what I'm saying, in the daytime, it was pitch black. You almost needed a flashlight.
So it was pitch black
It was
dark.
pitch black. It wasn't peeking out like this one right here. This was a peekaboo eclipse. You know what I'm saying? But
Diet and peekaboo eclipse. I gotta remember those.
but I still appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Nature at its finest. Shit. I hope I'm blessed to see another one.
You will be.
Uh-huh.
Doing right things like you've been doing.
Oh yeah,
Living that
yeah.
good life, doing them good things.
Good life. All right, so now I'm gonna bag it up to the weekend.
How was your weekend?
Ah, the weekend was wonderful, man. It's almost like you're prophetic because went to the studio.
Oh.
And guess who had the freestyle in that thing?
Who was that?
It was me. It
You
was
did
I.
it. It was you.
It was me, man.
It was AKA
Shootah. Exactly. Man, that thing oh boy, it was a wonderful occasion. Oh, and I did it in front of a live audience.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, man. Producer had a room full of folks and was like, hey man, you know, you get to make the call. You want to do this, you know what I'm saying? Want me to clear it out? I'm like, no. And the reason why I said no, I was like, well, first of all, man, hey, man, you know, this is groundbreaking. This is something they get to see. They get to see me at my, you know what I'm saying, at my moments where I might mess up or where I'm creating.
Okay.
You know, this is some shit that you might want to pay for later on in life. Not only that, man, you know what I'm saying, I need to be prepared at any moment. Also, it's like, hell, man, I'm doing the music so that I can get ready to perform for them anyway.
Right. Is it like a teachable moment too, right?
Exactly. You know
For
what
you
I'm
and them, actually.
Yeah. And then I told him, I was like, bruh, I'm so focused, man, I really don't even see them. That's how it be when you on the stage too, man. You
Right.
know, you zone out. Like, you see them, you feel the energy.
Right.
But I can't let it affect my focus, my train of thought, my mechanics. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it was wonderful, man. And I see him bobbing. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm seeing him steal as I'm coming up with these bars. Awesome. So,
Awesome. Does it give you like a euphoria feel when you're in the studio and it's going well and it's like you flowing, like you don't know, like Michael Jordan hitting them threes and they know where it's coming from.
I was just gonna say it's like hitting bottom, like Splash Brothers just shooting that thing.
Right.
Even in practice though or something. I mean, it's like even when he would come out and he would hit them long them shots from the sideline.
Right.
And folks would just see it in warm up. It wasn't even in real time, and as far as out in the middle of a game, it's exhilarating.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they you catching me at practice. So when they see it all together, hear it all together, they'll be like, hey man, you know, I was there when he was doing it.
Right. I get it. What's on your mind today, brother? What's going on? What's going on? These people need to know it.
All right, man. I'm always looking at it like everywhere we go, man. We got background checks with what we be trying to do. You know,
Right.
Folks know our past, our history, if we've been criminal or not.
Right.
So I figured, hey, man, who be policing the politicians? Let's dig up some of these politicians' past, or just see it for how long and what kind of crimes and or what kind of laws they've been breaking, and looking at what they did and piecing together how it could be deeper than just what the charge is.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I dug all the way back, obviously, man, because I just be like the history of it.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So first, I'd like to just explain what a politician is.
Okay.
Just in case if we don't necessarily know the specifics of it. It's simply supposed to be a person that experienced in the art or science of government and actually engaged in conducting, I'd say, the business of a government. Okay, so to me, that don't really sound, like we couldn't do it,
Right.
or it's like, who's to say what the art or science of government?
Right. And I think it's meant that way so we can do it. They say any citizen can run for office. You say with no criminal record, but I think that's null and void now.
Yeah, definitely. And you say we can, we can now. But I mean, look at what we had to overcome to be able to do it.
Right.
And there's still like some hurdles. You know what I'm
Most
saying?
definitely.
When you get involved in it. But okay, so you have the science of government, then you have business of a government. So government then. Well, what would that be then? If you got politicians, what's the definition? I want to just define what a government is, and it's the body of persons
Okay.
that constitute the governing authority of a political unit or organization, such as.
Okay.
So a body of persons, basically.
Okay.
So it don't really take a rocket scientist to think or know that we would have to vote these particular body of persons in.
Right. Can I go back to politician?
Please,
And give
dude,
you
man,
a
come on.
derogatory definition.
Yeah.
That's actually in Welsh. That's something that I think that
Uh-huh.
most of us believe this is the part that the politician that we have today.
Uh-huh.
A person who acts in a manipulative and the devious way, typically to gain advancement within an organization.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
In an organization, shit. Okay. No wonder they need lawyers all the time.
Right.
But the trick to that though is you do have judicial branches. So yeah, man, when you finally do get a dirty politician or a politician that is not necessarily ethically sound, when they start creeping into some of these things like legislation, because a lot of the ones I dug up are from the legislative branch and the judicial branch, you got no wins, because legislators are pretty much creating the laws and the judicials enforce them.
Right.
So if you got criminals on both sides, we really as citizens, damn, what kind of chance we standing? But damn, I'm learning a lot. You know what I'm saying? As I'm doing this homework for y'all, because I don't really like politics. You know what I'm saying? You even heard it, shit. I be touching on them topics politicians scared to mention. But
Right.
okay, so we got that out the way. We got what a politician is out the way. We got government out the way. So now you got several branches. You got your state and the federal.
Give them the branches of government, because a lot of people don't know. You know this. You know
Okay,
this,
so
Shootah. You
all right,
know.
so I didn't do that because I'm like, damn, I ain't know we got to take this back to social studies.
do
so can
gotta
you look
take
it
it
up
back
for
to
me? Because
social
I don't know them by heart.
We
So
do gotta take it back
so
to
while I'm talking about the people,
Okay.
I need you can get the branches like the
I already
judicial.
got 'em.
Okay, agriculture. I know that's one. I'm go ahead.
No, we only got 3 branches of government.
Okay, bet.
Legislative,
uh-huh.
executive, and judicial.
Judicial.
That's
Damn.
it. A lot of people
All right,
don't know it's only 3 branches. of
okay, it's 3, but you got a lot of subs up under there.
government.
I
A
know.
lot of slubs based on
And then
FBAs and all that stuff.
and
Yeah.
then you really just killed us, because technically the executive, which would be the president and all of that,
There you
right?
go. There you
They
go.
ain't got no power over the judicials and the legislators, because they always fighting back and forth. You know what I'm saying? The senates and the judges and the house and the state and all of that. So it really just be getting confusing. To me, it's like a tennis match, because how do you enforce what's consistently being amended? You see
all
what
the
I'm-
time and change.
All right.
You got 9 justices,
Okay.
15 cabinet members, This is okay. Judicial 9 justice, executive branch 15 cabinet members, legislative branch 100 senators and 435 representatives.
Good Lord. See, the representatives is what's get you.
Right,
And the representatives, they like damn near minions, man.
Right.
And they be out there creating havoc and shit, because that's damn near all the list of what I have of bribes. Just representatives. You know what I'm saying? The senators and the presidents and stuff, they get more like damn near like the racketeering charges and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I guess because they hold more power and more weight.
Right.
But,
okay, we're not going to go no more historical facts for y'all. We finna get into this.
Yeah, we're going to get into the nitty gritty. But
I
I will say these. I'm going to rattle off a couple of, how can I say, just offices or positions that you can hold.
Okay.
You got the president, you got members of Congress, you got the senator, which you kind of name. You have like prime ministers, ministers, speakers. All right. Then you got members of parliament, the governor, lieutenant governor, chief minister, premier. A premier. Now I had to look at that. I was like, what the hell is that? So a premier is a title pretty much for the head of government that's not necessarily the head of state.
Okay.
All right. Then you have a mayor, and then you have what is this? Oh yeah, the councilor. That's like councilman basically.
Oh,
councilman.
Councilary.
Yeah, they make decisions.
Ain't that the mob term?
Nah, well, it's
Conciliary.
Something similar to that.
Okay.
It's not the Larry though. It's CONCILLOR.
I'm throwing a Larry on.
But yeah, that's funny though, because I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. And so, like like we was talking about off air, I didn't go overseas with their representatives and what they do as their presidencies, because it starts getting atrocious and a lot of war crimes and things going on over there. Ours, man, our presidents were slick and just aided that over there rather than pretty much just have it over here.
Right. Okay.
So I will like touch on like the Iran Contra a little bit later on and stuff like that. But right now we're gonna get into like just what I would almost call the misdemeanors of these crimes.
Okay.
Which would be like the bribes and stuff like that. Pretty much, man, you can go all the way back. It's gonna be back to the 1900s, where you'll have these presidents and pretty much, like I just say, bribes or misuse of funds. So let me look through my notes right here and start again with some of these numbers. All right, so we got right here, I'll say one of the first ones to make the list was a Charles F. Mitchell. And this was like a New York's representatives of the 33rd district. Obviously, this dude was convicted of forgery, sentenced to a year in prison in 1841. So that lets you know right off the rip, if you starting out in 1841 and you can find a representative convicted of forgery, what we got to look forward to.
Right.
All right, now you got a guy named Robert Smalls, U.S. representative of South Carolina. Pretty much a bribe, you know what I'm saying? And this is in relation to like a government printing contract. This was 1877. But what I found interesting is how they value money, how it back then to how it inflated now. So we'll say in 1877, a $5,000 bribe lets you know he had to do something serious, or a fine basically. And that equated to about 143,000.
Okay, of today's money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. So I would say, you know, he was doing it back then, if that's what it equated to now. All right, you got a senator convicted of accepting a bribe once again, 2,500. This 1904, Joseph R. Burton. All right, so I'll get to
did you know Smalls was black? Robert Smalls was black. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Robert Smalls was black.
See how you know that? By the way, remind me of Biggie Smalls, by the way. But damn, okay.
Robert Smalls
Oh
was
man, look
black.
at this. I like that. All right, now see, I didn't know that.
He was an enslaved African who escaped to freedom in the Confederate supply ship and eventually became a sea captain for the Union Navy.
See, I'm glad you looking up this stuff as I'm looking it up, because see, I just looked up the arrest. But hey, man, he deserved every bit of that bribe. And shit, he needed to bribe even more.
Right. He
Damn,
was
you
elected
know.
to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1875.
Okay.
But was convicted of taking a bribe while in state senate and sentenced to prison before he was pardoned by the governor. See,
they be pardoning you. Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
But you know, back in those times, back in those days, and we're not gonna go down this rabbit hole. We can do this with everyone probably. But you know, back in those days, during after Civil War Reconstruction,
Uh-huh.
you had a lot of black senators. You had a lot of black people that was in certain offices because the South was predominantly black.
Uh-huh.
They were saying that a lot of the black senators and congressmen and stuff were taking bribes and being crooked and corrupt and all that stuff, which was not true. They just didn't want the black folks in the office.
Is it,
You get what I'm
exactly
saying?
frame it
So-
because of what you would say, you pretty much be going to judge by your peers.
Right.
So you
right.
definitely, yeah.
So he definitely was probably not guilty. That's probably why he was pardoned. Because I can't see the governor of South Carolina pardoning a black guy for bribery. I think that he probably was guilty. He wasn't guilty, and that's why he was pardoned.
All right. So we're going to move on to 1905 with a John Hipple Mitchell.
Okay.
All right. This is a senator in Oregon, right? Now, this cat right here was involved in basically obtaining land illegally through the use of a lawyer and multiple patents from the U.S. government. Now, what I was explaining to you is, okay, so you might say he's obtaining land illegally, but my thing is, what's on that land? How much land? Because, you getting slaps and pats on the wrist, but you could have land that got gold on it, oil on it, certain amount of timber on it, where you can start becoming industrious and set your families and your generations up for life. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you already know in the 1905s what we had going on, we weren't getting ahead in nothing.
Right.
And back to like what I was saying, man, as I was doing some of my research, you could literally just say damn near 80 to 95% of these representatives, man, were just getting bribes and kickbacks.
Right.
And with that, you could set your family, your generational wealth up. That's how you get the head start. Damn near everybody that obtained an office had a bribe. Shit. I'm just saying,
Especially back in those times when things weren't kept up, when people weren't keeping up with those type of things.
Clearly. Okay, you got what's his name? Okay, Henry B. Cassell. He was convicted of fraud related to like the construction of the Pennsylvania state capitol. That's in 1909. I'm talking about damn fraud putting up a state capitol at that.
Right.
So I mean, you can see where this is going. No wonder the mob, I think they mirrored and shadowed the politicians.
They did.
Because a lot of the stuff that I was digging into would be like fraud for U.S. patents and contracts, and like I just said, you know what I'm saying? Construction fraud, patents, and that's definitely where we gonna be going with it once you start getting into like the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. Some of these politicians, you can tell. I can even look at their names, and you can tell that they, you know what I'm saying? They were either Italian or had something to do with the mafia, especially by the charges.
We're not saying that all Italians are with the mafia.
Definitely not saying that.
You know what I'm saying? We just going about what we see.
All right, so I did want to say that as far as way back in 1912, we know even before this, obviously,
right.
But you got a Robert W. Archibald, who's a judge of court appeals, right? And this dude is convicted of corruption in 1912. So if you're a judge, you already know where we're going with this. Not only can you convict somebody, but also if you're a judge of appeals, you can make sure they don't get free.
Right.
So here you see where the politicians and the railroad folks coming into play. All right, so we're gonna say I'll go with Mr. Albert Fall, who was the Secretary of the Interior, who was actually convicted of bribery once again. But this is for like the Teapot Dome Federal Reserves in Wyoming.
Okay.
So this dude is bribing like federal, pretty much money, funds, things like that.
Okay.
Because as a matter of fact, the Secretary of Interior, basically they have I went and looked this up, so if people don't know, they have the administrative responsibilities for coordinating federal policies in territories like as far as American Samoa, Guam, and Virgin Islands. So they getting those states like Hawaii and stuff like that. But think about the kind of damage you can do to a country or a state, one of our states, then by misappropriating certain funds, funneling the money that they supposed to have and doing what you want to do with it.
Okay. Yeah.
You saying that like, yeah, this is happening
This
now.
happens
and
now.
and this is still normal, man. But I mean, it's happening now and it's normal. But if I can go back to the 1912s, you can see how this can hurt the future.
Right, it does. It always does. I mean, you think about when it comes to land, you think about redlining and stuff like that. Like I said, we can go down this rabbit hole for a long time, and those things were put in place to keep generational wealth out of the hands of black folks and in the hands of white folks. But that's not the rabbit hole we're down today. We're talking about crooked politicians right now.
Exactly. So now we got William P. What is this? McCracken Jr. or whatever. All right. So I just picked him simply because of the position he holds. And it was a different kind of scandal, like an airmail scandal. But he's Assistant Secretary of Commerce for the, what is this, aeronautics? So it's like, damn, man, how many positions y'all got in government, and how many of y'all gonna be corrupt when you go down the line with them?
My thing is aeronomics. I mean, 19. Yeah, okay. He was born in 1888. Okay, I'm thinking about, okay, never mind. I was just saying aeronomics, but by that time we had planes.
Hey, man, hey, shit, trying to put somebody on the moon by then, damn near almost.
Right.
Okay, so we got, what's his name? John W. Langley, right? So this dude, here we go with the prohibition.
This the season right here.
Yeah, you know, he was convicted for trying to accept bribes from persons who sought post office appointments. Well, not not post office appointments. Hold on, I'm on something different. But this one, yeah, he was in Kentucky with violating his prohibition, and he simply was, like I said, just trying to bribe a prohibition officer. So he ain't know back then, you know what I'm saying, he was dealing with an officer, a prohibition officer. Now the next person that I was getting to is Harry E. Man, last name is Rowbottom.
Okay.
All right, but now convicted in federal court for accepting bribes from persons who sought office appointments, and he did a 1 year in Leavenworth.
Okay.
So basically, if you can taking bribes for particular appointments, it's like you're kind of hindering or focusing your mind on who you feel should be, interviewed, or who you feel should be in certain positions in office. These are some of the things that, one, I'm glad he kind of got actually, called out and arrested on.
Right.
But I didn't even look at it like that. Like, you can have favoritism, nepotism
most
going
definitely.
on, seat holding, placement holding. You see what I'm saying?
They got that going on right now in a small town in, I want to say, Alabama. I want to say it's Alabama, where the mayor of the town, even though the town is 80% black, the mayor of the town has been white, and they don't hold elections in that town. They just pass down from one generation to the next in 2024. So basically, like a monarchy, they just hand it down from once. They don't hold any elections. So the mayor, this guy ran for office. He became the mayor, and they locked him out of the office and everything. They ain't let him be the mayor. The black guy became the mayor. So that passing down from one person to another happens today.
Here's one that I found kind of interesting. Andrew May, this dude was convicted for accepting bribes, right? But for war munitions manufacturing. So this man right here accepting bribes to make ammunition over here. 9 months, and this was in 1947, and it was pardoned by Truman.
Of course.
So so a lot of people that got pardoned by Truman.
He was a chairman of the House Military Affairs Committee during World War II.
Oh, wow. Okay, so here we go. This is interesting. J. Parnell Thomas convicted of salary fraud. Given 18 months. Pardoned by good old Truman in 1950. So, they get to make up their salaries. They get to make ammunitions, It's like, let's just do what we want to do to get this money.
Right.
And it's just by looking at some of these things, I'm like, damn, man, I ain't think of this. Oh, boy, okay. Y'all really getting money out here, I see.
Right.
A Walter E. Brim accepting contributions illegally from his employees. He got arrested because he pretty much strong-armed his employees for his contributions in his funds. He was fined $5,000 in 1951, right? That's the equivalent of $58,000 now. I don't know how, but it is.
And what year was this?
51.
Okay. Okay. Hey.
All right, so let's see. We got a Ernest K. Bramblett. He got a suspended sentence for making false statements, let's say in connection with payroll padding and kickbacks from congressional employees in 1954. So what I'm starting to see too is you'll see that these politicians be interacting with each other when they start committing these crimes. And man,
What did he get convicted of one more time?
what you say now?
What did he get convicted of?
Payroll padding and kickbacks from congressional employees.
California, Central Coast, U.S. House of Representatives, 1947 to 1955.
See, now we got Thomas J. Lane. Oh, okay, evading taxes on his congressional income. 4 months in prison, re-elected 3 more times in 1956.
Wow.
So this lets you see that you can get some congressional people, some politicians that they can be locked up, convicted, do time, and get re-elected 3 more times.
All the time. Because a lot of people are not informed of this stuff. You know, do you think any of this stuff is public knowledge, or was it public knowledge back then?
No.
Now you can find it because
Exactly.
the world is flat, you know. But back then, you know, it would probably be easy to keep convictions like this a secret.
Of course, man.
Right.
All right. So a lot of them, what I found, had conflict of interest. So like conflict of interest within the government.
Oh, yeah.
You know, here we go. So you already know we got to Watergate.
Okay.
72, 73. That's dealing with Richard Nixon. So basically premises of that is Republicans bugged the Democratic Party.
Right.
A lot of people went down with that one. This is a side note that I found that was interesting. Mr. Ted Kennedy drove his car into the channel between, oh God, I don't even really know how to pronounce this, Chappaquiddick Island and Martha's Vineyard, and he killed a passenger, pled guilty of fleeing the scene, received a suspended sentence for 2 months in 1969.
Exactly. That was a whole documentary about that.
Hey, that seemed like a little bit of privilege, if you ask me.
Right.
Now we have lives lost. You see what I'm saying? And you get to flee the scene of it.
Right.
And you get suspended sentences, man. Like,
But he was elected to the U.S. Senate. He was in the Senate for a while.
yeah, a lot of them got skeletons in their
For
closet, like
47 years.
legitimate skeletons
Yeah,
in their
he was a
closet.
senator for 47 years, from 1962 to 2009.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna skip the failing to pay income tax. That ain't wet my whistle a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
The
right.
tax evasions and all of
I
that.
think a
You
lot
know.
of them do that.
Yeah, mail deposit frauds and staff kickbacks. Oh well, you know. Okay, I will say this. What is his name? John Irving Wally.
Right.
Okay, so in 1973, he got a little bit mannish with his. You know, he tried to strong arm folks with his mail deposit, staff salary kickbacks, and he threatened the employees and hindered them from giving the FBI some info.
Oh.
So he got a few extra charges. You know what I'm saying?
So intimidation.
Oh yeah. We're gonna get to these witness tampering. You know what I'm saying? Politicians a little bit later too.
Okay.
Earl Butts, United States Secretary of Agriculture, 1978, tax evasion. You know what I'm saying? Failing to report 148,000 though in 1978, and you the Secretary of Agriculture. Ain't no telling what you had going on.
Where that money come from?
And where you putting it to?
Right,
Obviously
right.
yourself, your bank account, more
Right.
than likely. You know, we got some more perjuries. You know, oh wow. Okay, so we'll say Richard T. Hanna in 1974 was convicted of an influence buying scandal. So you influencing people, I guess, to buy shit. You know what I'm saying? But you using your political influence. you see?
Okay. And
Now-
steering them to where you want them to buy
Now-
stuff from.
Now, when I say this politician name, you already know.
Okay.
And the amount of time, you already know.
Okay.
Mr. Frank Brosco, 5 years
Right.
in jail. Conspiracy to accept bribes from the mafia.
He's
1974. That man just said, fuck all that. I'm dealing with the mafia.
Brosco.
Is Brosco and 5 years in the mafia? He went all out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, we know because his last name Brosco. Okay.
Okay. So all right, then I'll say we had a John. What is this? Herbert Burke.
Mm-hmm.
He got disorderly conduct, intoxication, and resisting arrest, and witness tampering. But 3 months for it though.
He just got 3 months.
Just 3 months.
Okay.
Just 3 months, bro. Wow. Imagine doing all that. Okay, so we can fast forward a little bit to the Iran-Contra.
Okay.
Right, the Iran-Contra affair, which was 1985, through 86. So this whole thing was pretty much about a secret sale of arms to Iran to secure the release of hostages and allow the U.S. intelligence agencies to fund Nicaraguan Contras, right? All right, so that's what they say. But to me, that seemed like what they just, trade secrets to fund a particular war or put weapons in other folks' hands. Something similar to that was what they kind of like equated it to. And that actually made national attention, of course. That was one we lived through the 80s.
That national news is in the Encyclopedia Britannica. So it's big news. That was big. That was a big thing right there back in 85.
All of that, and they say like pretty much Elliot Abrams, who's the Assistant Secretary of the State for Inter-American Affairs, pretty much got 2 years probation on that after you really just clear the smoke. All right, so here's something that I found kind of interesting that I wanted to talk about, because we do a lot of voting, right? But if you got something within the government called a housing and urban development scandal, that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, we vote no. All right, and this was pretty much like bribery by selected contractors for low-income housing projects. And that's like Mr. James B. Watt, who's the U.S. Secretary of the Interior, was convicted on 25 counts of perjury and obstruction of justice for this. And this how you know it's serious, because he got 5 years. Okay. You might want to shoot that gun off on that one. even though 5 years is probably a slap on the wrist for urban housing development scandal, because when you say urban and housing development, in low income, you already know who that's kind of aimed at and who that's projected for. I found this very interesting too. They had what they call an abscam scandal. You know what abscam is?
No, tell me about it.
All right, so FBI literally set up a sting operation involving fake Arabs to try to bribe 31 congressmen. And
late 70s, early 80s.
Like how you looking that up, okay? And they fell for it. A lot of them fell for it, right? So I just wanted to
7 convictions.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna name 4 of the people.
Okay.
Harrison A. Williams. You can get to the ones I didn't name.
Okay.
3 years for that senator. John Jernett got 2 years. I think this is Raymond Lederer. What I found interesting with Mr. Lederer, he gave a statement saying, I can give you me for his money, for his bribery. Like, shit, you get me for the bribery.
Right.
They gave his ass 3 years for that.
Okay.
And check out this name, y'all. No pun intended. Mr. Michael Myers. He was trilled with his. Michael Myers in true fashion said, money talks and bullshit walks.
Right.
And he got walked on that 3 years, y'all. So can you please name the ones that I omitted?
Frank Thompson.
Oh, shit. Okay.
John M. Murphy.
Okay.
Richard Kelly.
Okay.
John Jarrett.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Okay, gotcha.
And then we had 31 of them that were targeted.
But I guess they ain't fall for that banana in the tailpipe. 31
of them were targeted, and 7 of them were convicted.
What up, Big Zach? What up, Stan?
Right.
I see y'all.
Some of the 31 was.
It
was 5 other government officials who were convicted, including the mayor of Camden, New Jersey.
Okay.
Philadelphia, PA City Council President George X. Schwartz. Philadelphia, PA City Council Henry Giannotti. And Philadelphia City Councilman Louis Johnson.
See, so when they say you can grease palms, man, they really not lying about this, man. It seems like the feds spend more time on politicians for bribery than they do catching criminals. Damn near look
It's
like.
called greedy. It's called being greedy. It's not like being satisfied with the position and the amount of money you make and can make with pension after you retire. So it's called greedy.
Yeah. Oh, but like I say, and it's also called that, man. They be thinking long term, man.
Right.
They be embezzling, man, because they want to set up their grandkids and the kids at great grandkids. Okay, so this is a spicy one right here. Mr. John Henson was arrested for having homosexual. This is what it said now. Homosexual oral sex in the House of Representatives bathroom with a government worker. Got 30 days of counseling for treatment in 81. Wow. Okay. That blew my mind, I tell you that. I'm trying to tell you. All right, so here we're going to go ahead and jump to Mr. Frederick W. Richmond. Yeah, convicted in New York for tax fraud. Oh, a little possession of that weed. Just a little bit of weed.
Just
you know,
a
a
little
little bit of cannabis. A little cannabis possession in 1982.
Okay.
You know, so he was using his tax money to buy some weed, basically.
Right.
Y'all don't really need it. We gave that man 9 months, man. Come on.
Well, back then, you know, it
Yeah.
wasn't readily accepted as much as it is now.
So, I want you to look this man up right here.
Okay.
David, I think this is Durenberger.
David.
Supposed to be a Minnesota senator, right? Denounced for unethical financial transactions and misuse of public funds. So I want to know what the hell is an unethical financial transaction to a degree.
Let's see what it is. Was an American politician, attorney. Durenberg represented Minnesota in the United States Senate as a Republican from 1978 to 1995. Let's see. And talk about something else while I find it.
All right. Well, okay. Well, see, I'll just talk about the unethical part first of all. To me, to be hit with that says a lot because we still talk about ethics now. Like I got ethics. I had to do an ethics class some more. Thank you. He just cut me off. Yeah. There we go.
I'm sorry.
I'm finna get on ethics on y'all, man.
In
And I know that was
1990
probably gonna be boring. So hit me with it, lab.
Right. Durenberger was censured for ethics violations related to evading limits on $100,000 in speaking fees and using his condominium in Minnesota to collect $40,000 in travel reimbursements. So basically, he was going to his condominium using that address to get reimbursed for going to his condominium that he already owned in Minnesota.
Oh, this man doubling up on him,
right.
man.
So then he was. They had a limit on speaking fees, and
And he done went past that.
Yeah, he was violating that limit.
Sound like he's pimping, man. Wow. Okay. So yeah, once again, man. Now I will say this. I do think it's kind of wrong as far as like you shouldn't necessarily set a limit on what any man can make for whatever he's capable of doing as far as speaking to me. That's legal. Even if you are in a position of office, man, shit, the sky's the limit. At least that'll keep him from taking bribes.
Well, I think they limit it because it can go over it to bribes. So somebody can say,
yeah, he was speaking.
I'm gonna give you $5 million if you vote this way, but we'll just say it was a speaking fee.
Yeah, I got you.
You get what
I
I'm
got
saying?
you here. Yeah, because I'll be speaking there.
Now, they can do that. Now,
speaking everywhere. Be talking to myself in this bitch.
They can give him $100,000 10 times and still do the same
I
thing.
hear you.
You get what I'm
that
saying?
makes sense. That
Right,
makes sense.
right.
Now I like that. Wow. Okay, so some of these people, you know, we're gonna look up this one too. Look this one up. I kind of want to see what he was in perjury for, but I'm getting to the judges now.
Okay.
Because to me, that's a scary thing when you got the main person in charge of your freedom, and they considered in politics right here, doing crime or illegal. You see what I'm saying? They got your freedom in your balance, and hey, this dude is convicted of perjury in 1989.
Okay.
A judge of wow, come on now, Southern Mississippi. Don't really surprise me. Got 5 years. So, you know, impeached in 89 for it. So let's see what Mr. Walter Nixon, perjury. But see, that could be many things. It could be many cases that came across his, you know, that he had to, you know, be a judge on and gave out convictions.
District Judge Southern District of Mississippi,
Uh-huh.
who was impeached by the House.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. He was impeached by the House of Representatives and removed from office by the Senate because Nixon's impeachment was for perjury. The case was cited as precedent in the. Let's see what he did.
Exactly.
Let's see. Perjury. Nixon was convicted in 1986 on perjury charges and sentenced to 5 years of prison. The offense stemmed from his grand jury testimony and statements to federal officers concerning his intervention in the state drug persecution of Drew Fairchild, the son of Wiley Fairchild, a business partner of Nixon.
There you go. Oh, wow. Okay. Right. Well, he did himself in anyway, but yeah. And see, I'm glad we talked about that because as you can see, sometimes feelings get in the way. Emotions get involved and shit like that. And these folks throw it all out there, risk their whole life and career to get back at somebody through the judicial system. So imagine if you ain't got no money, you ain't got no power, you ain't got no say so, and somebody got a vendetta.
You don't know these folks.
Exactly, and somebody got a vendetta against you or something like that as far as within the judicial system, man, or a politician or something like that, man. We really don't even stand no chance.
The son's father, who was a business partner of the judge, asked the judge to speak to the prosecutor. He testified that didn't happen. Yeah. So that's his perjury on
yeah, you know they're going to lie. You know,
right.
I mean, they be capable of lying under oath at that. So that should show you something, too. Like, judges get the same person that will have you put your hand on the Bible is the same person lying. So what that tells me is, you need to be lying yourself to protect your freedom. Shit me if they doing it. Hey man,
by any means necessary.
You gotta stay free in this bitch because the judicial system ain't for you anyway.
We do not condone lying in court or anything. We just saying.
Yeah, I do my due diligence though. That's all I'm saying, man. If it's done to me, I'ma do it to them. All right, now so we're gonna get to what I think her name is Elise Hastings, and she was a judge that was for Florida, impeached for bribes and soliciting, but she was like pretty much almost we would say like selling seats, House of Representative type seats. Okay. So once again, but we had something similar to that, man. Obama had a little drama with somebody in seats. Hastings, AALECE.
That was a man.
Well, damn, man. Bro, your name, that's all I'm going to say. Well, hey, I could have figured it. Okay. All right.
He was a congressman, though. He won in Congress.
I mean, I didn't say they would, like, permanently ban you. That's the shocking thing about this is you can still run. You can still make money. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, man, a lot of this stuff seems like they really be taking these bribes to set up, well, of course, but to set up, they financially wealthy, bro. Man, they maybe that I think that is what politics is for. The gateway to financial wealth. All right, because like I say, now we starting to get into the contract disputes and the scandals and stuff. All right, so Darlene, what is this? Druyan, Druyun, principal deputy of U.S. Air Force, 9 months for inflating price contracts to favor her future employer. So you inflating contracts for somebody that you didn't even work with yet, so that you can work for them and get that money. Yeah, and it was Boeing, by the way.
Because she was the senior executive service official of the United States Department of Air Force and former Boeing employee. So she was an officer with the Air Force, which Boeing makes planes for.
So, but you see this, man. You got it everywhere. You got it in agriculture. You got it in Air Force. You got wherever you need it. You got somebody willing to do something crooked. Okay, now we're gonna get to the house banking scandal, right? So 450 members of the House of Representatives bank withdrew their bank accounts and got no penalties for it. Basically, this was in 1992. At the same time, I'm assuming, or you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it was. Let me look it up. I think it was. They all did it over a certain amount of time.
So what, you trying to bankrupt the bank?
Right. They weren't paying their overdraft fees, and all that.
Enough to make enough that made Wikipedia for crime.
Yeah, it says the house banking scandal ultimately involved more than 450 representatives, most of whom did not break any laws. However, 22 members of Congress were singled out by the House Ethics Committee for leaving their checking accounts overdrawn for at least 8 months out of a sample of 39 months.
Let us do that. We got to open it up again.
Right.
We penalize and all this other stuff. Well, once again, that lets you see how banks, money, law, politicians work, man.
Yeah, they bounce checks. Misleading, but misleading because house checks did not bounce, but were honored because the house bank provided overdraft protection.
So, we're gonna go to a Mr. Mel Reynolds, Illinois representative. 12 counts of sexual assault, solicitation of child porn.
Wait, I want to do one thing. I
And
I
bank
got
fraud.
to do one.
What's up,
we got to
dude?
go back
What's
to
up?
the bank fraud.
Let's go back to the bank.
I'm going to give three people because the number of these checks that they bounce is amazing.
Okay, yeah. I want to hear this then.
So
That's fraud in itself.
Tommy F. Robinson, Arkansas, Republican. He bounced 996
God damn.
checks.
If you bounce that much, bruh, that means that you know you ain't. You get that's free money.
16 months overdue.
How you bounce 900 some checks, man, and they still get cashed?
And then you have because they provided check protection.
I need to be a politician, man. I've been saying I don't want to be one.
Robert J. Marzik, New York Democrat, bounced 920 checks, 23 months overdue. And I'm gonna give one more because we could go. This list is long.
Wow.
Robert W. Davis, Michigan Republican, 878 checks, 13 months overdue.
So these folk get to play with the money, basically.
Right, basically.
Yeah, they playing with the government's money. Meanwhile, let us, first of all, if we did that, we gonna do some time.
Most definitely
they're not even gonna let it get up to that anyway.
Right.
And shit, you gonna pay the overdraft and you ain't even gonna be able to get no more on your money. So
Right.
they're not even gonna let us get to that. But damn. Okay,
Right.
that's some serious credit.
The one who has the least amount that wasn't in the hundreds was Jim Bates, and it was 89 checks.
That's way too many though. And they still, I'm guarantee you they had money in some kind of other account.
Of course.
They not broke.
How
They
was
doing
they
this shit.
living?
Yeah, they
Right.
doing this that good life. That's how the politicians do.
Right.
Good life, man. So we got Claude Allen. Oh wow, this dude was the director of Domestic Policy Council. Series of felony theft in retail stores. Damn, man, what is you, a klepto?
Most definitely.
2006. You got felony theft? Okay. Wow. All right. Whoa. Mr. Bill, what is this? I think his name is Janclo. San Diego representative convicted of second-degree manslaughter, running a stop sign, killing a motorist. 100 days in jail, 3 years probation.
Oh, wow.
Wow. You can kill a motorist, basically, and you get 100 days in jail and 3 years probation.
Wow.
That's not even a year. That's barely 3 months.
How many days? 100 days?
100.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
that's
3
3
months,
months and 10 days.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Come on, man. That's what's disheartening. When you start getting into, I could take the bribes. You did that on yourself, but when you start taking somebody else out, and you know, politicians start getting slaps on the wrist for that, you know what I'm saying? They still get the green light, things like that. No, man. Nah, y'all doing too much. That's a bit too much there, man. You know.
Somebody who wasn't even involved in what you had going on.
Yep, you know.
Innocence.
So, Laura Richardson showed her naked ass out here from California she violated U.S. House rules, man, by improperly using her staff to campaign, destroy evidence, and witness tampering, man.
Wow.
So that means you using your staff to like violate policies, man. Destroy evidence that could have been used to set somebody for free, you know. And you needed to, you know, for staff campaigning.
Oh wow.
And you tampering with witnesses. Wow. So like you really don't give a damn
at all. Wow.
When you tamper with a witness, you either trying to bribe them or intimidate them.
Wow.
So none of it is really good. All right, here we go again. So you already know how I threw that Brosco out the first time, right? We got another one, man. Mr. Rick Renzi. This man right here was like, oh, I'm bringing the mob to Arizona. Guilty of wire fraud, conspiracy, extortion, racketeering, money laundering. This man is the Vegas of charges, man. He was like, the hell with this? This man sound like Goodfellas.
Right.
Mr. Renzi was like, yeah, look Renzi up for me, man. Let's do a little deep dive in Renzi for a sec, man. This man's like, ching, 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 ching with these
Richard
charges.
George Renzi.
Yes, sir.
In 2013 was convicted on federal criminal charges against him. Convicted on federal criminal charges against him for his involvement in a land swap deal. The charges for personal gain of over $700,000 were filed in 2008. On April 19, 2007, the FBI raided his family business and his temporarily resigned from the House Intelligence Committee. Renzi denied printing claims he was considering resigning office. However, let me see. What be good? I'm trying to see about the conviction. Well, it was $700,000 he gained.
Okay, well, he tried to run it up to a meal. Okay. I mean, damn, though, but the wire fraud, the conspiracy, the extortion, the racketeering, we know he was into some shit. Extortion, first of all, when you extorting somebody, I mean, that's manipulating them. You can do it through violence, through blackmail, through something. But if you extorting someone, the person on that other end is pretty much a victim or don't want to happen what you making it do. So, okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and get to Trey, I guess his name is Raydale or Rattle, from Florida, and he was convicted for possession of cocaine. Hey! Alright, this was in 2013 in November. You know, oh man, he ain't got nothing but a little $250 fine. Come on now, come on, bro. No. My man had the yada mean and only got $250. Boy, that's a slap on the wrist.
A slap on the wrist, ain't it?
Yeah, and he in Florida, man.
They would took us to jail for trafficking.
But yeah, that Tony Montana down there in Florida somewhere with a Cuban babe probably was like, hey man, y'all gonna have to sweep this under the rug.
Right.
Do you know who I am?
That's exactly what they say.
Hey,
you know who I am?
Do you know who I am? And got that little blue and black sticker, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then they get off. That's how they do this thing. Okay, so whoa, all right. Dennis, all right, what is this dude last? I think it's Dennis Hastert, right? From Illinois. You might want to look him up while I'm talking. House of Representative, man. This dude pretty much squandered or had 3.5 mil attached to his name or whatever he was doing. And then he had the audacity to have some sexual misconduct with a student when he was a teacher. This was like decades ago, so they say, but they were mad at that 3.5 mil, so they dug that back up, and the man had to do 18 months in 2017.
Okay, so in May 2015, Hastert was indicted on federal charges of structuring bank withdrawals to evade bank reporting requirements and making false statements to federal investigators. Federal prosecutors said the funds withdrawn by Hastert was used as hush money to conceal his past sexual misconduct.
Boy, that boy out there trying to pay them off out there. That boy, yeah. That boy, and ain't that some shit? This man commits a crime to cover up the other crimes to pay off them other crimes. If this ain't a politician for you, I'm telling you, shit. All that he need to do is be a lawyer next. Shit.
Right.
Okay.
Federal prosecutors alleged that Hastert had molested at least 4 boys as young as 14 years of age during his time as high school wrestling coach.
There he go.
Right.
Right. There they go though. There they go with that now.
Right.
All right. So that's disgusting.
Right.
He deserved what he got on there.
But the fact that he committed one crime and then committed another crime to cover up the other crime.
Yep. You thought your money was gonna get you out of it.
Shows how he had no limits to what he would do.
No limit, baby.
Right.
He did that Ursher on him. All right, so we got Samuel B. Kent. I just threw him out there because he's a judge. Sexually harassed 2 females in 2009. Gave that man 33 months. Okay, so we got another judge, Jack Kemp. Oh, judge of North Georgia. That A, I'm gonna throw the A up on that one, y'all. All right, so this man here undercover FBI drug bust trying to purchase that once again cocaine.
Oh wow.
UGA, shit, I would have thought it would be some weed or something, you know what I'm saying? Some in the A, you know, some trees or something, man. But no, this man right here trying to traffic. Get his, I'm just saying, though. Judge, hey, man, I wonder who was this judge for his case. What do you have to say about that? All right, so, okay, we got this other judge, District of Alabama, guilty of domestic violence, 24 weeks, in what, a family domestic training, but he ended up resigning in 2015. Yeah, he should have. Dirtbag.
Right.
Okay. Now, so I'm going to fast forward through some of this stuff because I got a wonderful story I want to tell y'all. But I did decide to make a quick list of presidents that were assassinated.
Okay.
We got Abraham Lincoln, 1865 by John Wilkes Booth. You got James Garfield, 1881, Charles J. Goutier, whatever his name is. William McKinney, 1901, Leon, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that last name.
Right.
And we got John F. Kennedy, 1965, Lee Harvey Oswald.
Okay.
Definitely wanted to get to the presidents that owned slaves so we could see what the government had to give for us back then, what they thought of us. It's a lot of them, believe it or not. Well, you know, at least till they damn near outlawed it. They squeezed the shit out of it as long as they could, I would say.
Right.
You got John Tyler, James Madison, William Henry Harrison, Andrew Johnson, John Adams, George Washington, James Monroe, Zachary Taylor, Ulysses S. Grant, Andrew Jackson, Abraham Lincoln. Ain't that a bitch? You know what I'm saying? All right, Martin Van Buren, Thomas Jefferson. Ain't that a bitch?
Oh, you didn't. Oh, Jefferson definitely owned slaves.
Ain't that a bitch, though? I had to say that because y'all already know what Jefferson is and what he did.
Right.
I'm a Declaration of Independence ass motherfucker.
Right.
Okay, Andrew Jackson and Mr. Millard Fillmore in 1853 topped it off with the slaves. All right. Okay, if y'all want to know which presidents may be part of a secret society, I got that for you too.
Oh, now that's a deep one right there. Because
Yes,
a lot of
sir.
these secret societies are secret, so they're not gonna let you know who's on that
But
list.
it ain't a secret no more.
Okay.
Now, what they were doing in there, what they did, how much impact they got, hey, who knows? But I can tell you this, it's deeper than just American presidents. You
Right,
can best
right,
believe that.
right.
And it's plenty of judges, plenty of legislators, plenty of folks overseas, prime ministers, all that. This shit go deep.
Right.
But, okay, we got George Washington, a Mason, Thomas Jefferson. What the hell is a Flat Hat Society Club? That's what he was.
Okay.
Okay, James Monroe, Mason. Andrew Jackson, Mason. James K. Polk, Mason. James Buchanan, Mason. Andrew Johnson, Mason. Ulysses S. Grant, Independent Order of Odd Fellows. All right.
The Flathead Club. Flathead Club is a popular name for a collegiate secret society and honor fraternity founded in 1750 at the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg. The fraternity, formerly named as FSC Society, was founded at the college on November 11, 1750, and maintains as a secret society today.
James Garfield, Mason. Rutherford Hayes, Independent Order of Odd Fellows, which Labs just explained still is in existence to the day.
No, that was Flatheads.
Oh, my bad, Flat Hats. Oh, damn. Well, I'm quite sure the Independent Order of Odd Fellows
Look it
probably.
up while you talking.
Yeah, look that up. William McKinley, this dude was both. He was a Mason and an Independent Order of Odd Fellows. Theodore Roosevelt, hey man, okay, I understand you say you a Mason. What in the hell have you created? Theodore Roosevelt was in the Concatenated Order of Hoo-Hoo. And I'm not lying. It is called the Concatenated Order of Hoo-Hoo.
Okay.
What the fuck is that? And what you got to do to get in it? Why did you even create this? Who created that? And man, y'all on some weird shit.
The Concatenated Order of Hoo-Hoo.
Yeah, I ain't lying, man. If I'm
It's
lying,
still
I ain't making this
International
up.
Concoculated Order of Who It's still in existence right now.
It's in existence.
It literally has a website.
It sounds like somebody that's crazy for cuckoo puffs or some shit,
The
man.
Concoculated Order of Who is a fraternal organization
Clearly that.
of lumbermen and those in trades related to lumber industry.
Hoo-hoo. What the hell is a hoo-hoo, man?
Ow. Ow says who?
Oh, shit.
Who?
Okay.
They be in trees, right?
Okay,
This
so-
is a lumber
So
society.
okay, a hoo-hoo. All right, bet, man. Bet. If that's what y'all saying, man. That's what y'all want to call it. Okay,
Right.
so we got William Taft, Mason, and here come them Skull and Bones.
Oh, that's the one I'm
Skull and
waiting on.
Bones now. That's the one right there.
Right.
All right, so we got Mr. Warren Harding, Mason. He was an independent order of Odd Fellows, and he was a hoo-hoo. All right, you got Franklin Roosevelt, a Mason, and the Odd Fellows. You got Harry Truman, Mason, Odd Fellow. Richard Nixon, Order of the Red Friars. They just be making up some shit,
They
man.
be making up them names, don't they?
Hey, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you like this. What if the Masons looked at the Order of the Red Friars as their do boys and fall guys that have to do certain things or have to pass certain political shit or have to take the fall on certain things? You never know,
You
man.
never know how it's all connected, right?
Something. Okay, you got Gerald Ford, a Mason. George H. Bush, Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones.
So y'all already know W, Skull and Bones.
I knew he was part of Skull and Bones. Skull
Clearly.
and Bones, also known as the Order 322, or the Brotherhood of Death, is an undergraduate senior secret student society at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut, the oldest senior class society at the university. Skull and Bones has become a cultural institution known for its powerful alumni and various conspiracy theories.
They had a movie after that too.
Right.
To me, that's like they start dealing in that what I call the order, like esoteric shit, man, heretic type stuff. They start doing it some of that Greek philosophy type stuff too,
Right.
Egyptian order type things. They take, I would say, what would be considered the positive of some witch doctrine and some medicinal and spiritual cultural activities that I would say some of our forefathers and ancestors were in, and I think they blasphemize it and use it and act like they know more than us with that shit and keep it as a secret and make it look like it's evil and it's dark when it's not. That's what I don't like about it, because now you start getting into that precedence with that Illuminati type shit, Mason type stuff, and you really taking what we had and twisting it. But I say all that to now I want to get on a story that actually happened. I'm not gonna name the particular politician till after the story.
Okay.
I think this story is, regardless of whether I give a shit about the person or not, what they endured was quite amazing. And what it was similar, a butterfly effect to this particular person, because whatever they endured was amazing, but what they, by enduring that, let's just say they escaped something that was really treacherous. That was some of the most foul shit that could have ever happened to somebody.
Okay.
So we're gonna start the story off like this. This one particular pilot has been in plane crashes before. So this pilot right here is in a plane. The objective is to take out a radio tower pretty much somewhere near Japan or a Japanese island, right? So as this politician is nearing the objective goal of the island to drop bombs on this radio tower, they get shot out the sky pretty much. They're going down. They managed to drop the bomb off and destroy the tower. So now they're using survival instinct. They understand this in war. If they parachute or eject themselves too close to enemy territory, they'll easily be captured. So he had to factor that in before he decided to eject. So he pretty much waited towards his very last minute, closest he could get to the water and as far away as he could get from that fire that came to him, you know what I'm saying, the ammunition, it ejected. It was 8 people that was with him. So once he ejected, saw the plane go down in the ocean, and he ended up seeing the life raft come out the plane. He was able to swim to the life raft. He looked. He see Japanese boats coming straight to him. They far off, but they coming to him. So this man, one, takes fire in the airplane, bombs what he's supposed to bomb, still alive after he eject in the water, and now he's seeing Japanese enemies come towards him in a speedboat. All right. He know he can't outswim them. He ain't got no weapons or none of that. What ends up happening is, before they can get within range of him, some U.S. airplanes come by, yay, and they kind of like dip low, and that pretty much takes care of the boats for him. Okay. So this man is out there in the ocean, well, not ocean, but in this pretty much near this island, in this water, for 2 hours before he finally gets rescued by the planes, right? All right, so I'm going to give you his name in a second because I want to tell y'all what this man avoided if he'd gotten captured. So I told you it was 8 people with him. He looked around while he was waiting them 2 hours for them 8 other people, but he couldn't find them. So he didn't know what happened to him. This man don't know what happened to these 8 people while he's in the water, right? How about what happened to these particular 8 people was so gruesome, this man didn't find out till he was about 80. The government didn't want to tell nobody, none of the 8 people's family members, what had happened to these people. All right. So this politician, y'all know of him. It's George H. Bush.
Okay.
All right. So by him being rescued, when he found out years later what happened to those people, those 8 people were captured. They decided to parachute or eject themselves out of the plane before Bush, because like I said, Bush failed. He'd been shot out the plane before and realized you got to wait as long as you can to get away from enemy territory. So them 8 people got captured. Do you want to know what happened to them 8 people? Okay. The first one, the Japanese took them, right? They dug a big hole. So at first, the hole was just there. Made the man get on his knees. He had a sword. So you know where this is going.
Right.
He's doing this in front of the other 7 surviving. All right, but before that, I ain't gonna do it. All right, before they even walked him to that, let's just say they tied him to the tree, tortured him, and beat him. I didn't kind of want to get to that, but since this is one of the reasons why they didn't want to tell, you know what I'm saying, the family members, so I got to tell you how excruciating it really is. All right, so they tied this man up to a tree and started beating him. All the other people saw that. Then they took the man from the tree and marched him so he saw his hole. So he pretty much knew he was gonna die. But they beheaded the man, right? Okay, so in the process of doing this, these particular soldiers decide saying like, hey man, we real warriors. We want the real essence of war. In order to do this, pretty much, we got to devour our enemies and take on their soul and their spirit, their strength and their energy. So these soldiers had surgeons, because there's got to be some people there to sew you up and shit like that in war. They had surgeons slice off that first person's thigh, cooked the shit and ate the man.
Oh wow.
All right. So he tasted so good, they made more trips to start eating that man. From then on, the rest of the people that survived that plane crash that were prisoners got body parts cut off of them. They cooked them and ate them.
Oh, wow.
Towards the ending of it, they realized if they kept some of them alive and cut pieces off of them bit by bit, that the meat would be fresh. So these folks literally ate the prisoners, bro. Yep. So that's what your boy George Bush
avoided.
Yep.
Wow.
So can you imagine, had he waited just a little bit longer? Well, no, not a little bit longer, but had he just jumped out that plane immediately, or had the planes not come by and whisk over the water, what would have happened to that man?
Right.
Damn.
Right.
Damn. That's some serious shit.
Right.
To survive that.
That would have changed the course of history.
Exactly.
That's
why they called that particular thing, it was like a butterfly effect, because it would have changed the course of history. He wouldn't have been alive, wouldn't have been president. You wouldn't have had both Bushes.
Both Bushes. They would have been governor of the state of Florida. One wouldn't have been president. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So you see how, one, that was very interesting, but you never know. Hell, shit, what the hell a politician done been through, man? What they done seen, what they go through, man, or what they capable of doing.
Right.
I never would have thought that of a Bush. Seriously. Right. I didn't know that. Honestly, I didn't hear that story until about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Bruh, so I done went my whole life not even knowing it. But I did know he was a war vet, but I didn't know that particular story.
That part, right.
That part where, shit, had you got caught, your ass would have been filleted.
Right.
Nah, I ain't know that.
That's another, that's deep.
That's deep. But, we gonna come full circle. So, we said all we had to say today about some of these politicians. We see how, from the early 1800s, they've been kind of corrupt. Fortunately, I'd say a lot of it was basically bribes, but you do get to the point where you get a lot of legislation and a lot of judicial branch type representatives, and I think that affects us a lot. When you start talking about amendments, when you start talking about housing, when you start talking about zoning, when you start talking about setting up appointments and selling seats and hindering certain people that may actually have the qualifications and capabilities to lead us politically correct, and you have somebody right there beside in the seat trying to stop them from getting it. Or once again, you guys see it, man, when it come time to getting ready to vote, everybody want to treasure up the dirt on this person.
Right.
This person right here stopped this law from being passed. This person right here did this. This person's daughter did this. This person did this to this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and this is what we really want.
Right.
Now, hey, man, we can easily just do the same thing I did. Background check these folks.
Look it up.
Yeah, man. See what kind of family they come from. See what kind of lineage they come from, man. Maybe I named a representative or a senator that's related to one of these fools. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
it runs in the family. Or they had a head start because they've been taking bribes and they got more money than the average person,
Right. That's exactly right.
It's a lot to factor in, a lot to factor in from some of the crimes that these politicians had. Like when we went over the housing scandal, that can still affect us to this day in certain times. I mean, it could be part of regentrification for all we know, part of redlining. We don't know these things unless we look it up and we see this. We be trying to look and see what kind of qualities the person got so we can vote for them, and they just be spilling some bullshit. They not gonna do what they say they gonna do anyway, and we up here asking somebody that been convicted of some shit and reelected.
Right.
We putting our faith in that. Meanwhile, this man right here done took bribes, and is taxing and making his employees suffer. They're not even ethically sound. So I look at it like, hell, they sure enough passing all these laws and amending these laws and things to govern us, keep us in line, taxing the hell out of us, taxing us on our taxes. Damn, the income tax get income tax damn near with these folks, but yet they get a clean slate. They get to juggle with the banks. They get to bounce 900 goddamn checks.
Right.
Come on, man. I mean, I think they should be held just as accountable as we are, especially when it comes to this money, because they got more access to it. And if they don't have more access to it, shit, they got access to the laws that control it.
That's right.
I mean, hey, man, it's like what I'm saying to us really shows us that we are a majority as far as a group, but we are a minority as far as power and what we can do. And I just explained to you the definition of a government, which is pretty much the body of persons. Well, shit. Can we be a body of persons?
Can we be our own government?
Hey, man. I mean, well, it says right here, like I said, the body of persons that what constitutes the governing authority of a political unit or organization such as. But yeah, I mean, there have been cases, man, where people went out there and bought a little island and tried to be sovereign with it and tried to get laws with it and tried to get it acknowledged. You'd be surprised at what you could possibly do, because once again, in particular constitutions and independence and things like that, it says shit that you could do. But we ain't trying to do that. We want, who is that? We want Brosco to represent us. We want the damn embezzlers, and we want we want these solicitors. We want to vote for them. We don't want to think of nothing on our own. We don't want to embody nothing of ourselves. I told you what a government was, and I told you what a politician was. A person experienced in the art or science of government, man. So, hey, that sounds like that could be any one of us, right? But that don't mean we got to be an unethical politician. Shit, you ain't even got to call me a politician. Yeah, I can still do some of this. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I really though, I still can. You know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't be the list that I wouldn't be doing nothing on the list that I read you, because that shit negative. I mean, but there's plenty of things that they could have done with their money that they embezzled and bribed with. As a matter of fact, I find it funny that they didn't even put the people that bribed them, because then you really get to see what you got going on. Because a lot of the times it could be corporations, it could be businesses. You know what I'm saying? It could be who you put your trust in, trying to bribe them.
That's true.
Because think about it now. Who really got the money to try to coerce these politicians into getting laws made?
Not us. Corporations.
Thank you. See, that's why I'll go down a rabbit hole on these motherfuckers. Say, I mean, y'all don't understand. Because that is the main reason of how they control it. And it's really just showing me the government ain't nothing but run off of money and crazy ass politics that's willing to get more.
Right. You 100% right about that.
So if the government, if we see all these bribes, all these contracts, all these what do they call them, like misuse of funds and things like that. First of all, what that tells me is money, right? Money in corporation, money in conglomerate, money in body of persons. Money in body of persons. We are people. We make money. I'm going to keep going back to that unite at some point. Shit, become such a mass body of people with money that you can start making these constituents and legislators come to you or talk to you about some laws, because your money speak for you. They'll listen to you. You about to crack that check. I'm serious. Shit, they'll listen so much that they'll do something illegal, won't they?
That's true.
So imagine trying to get somebody to do something that's legal, positive, and it's a bunch of us and we got some money for it. And it could be something. It could be something state by state, neighborhood. Like, that's the thing. Like, we ain't gotta ask for the whole pie. We can take a certain amount of money. Let's say we already predominantly in a particular neighborhood and we don't want to give it up. We can pool our money together, call ourselves something, shit, start getting it notarized, and have somebody represent us, because we're going to have some lawyers and all of that, because we definitely ain't finna be sued, and we not finna be arrested for what we trying to do. And then you go to these representatives and you go to these town halls with our representation, maybe a damn t-shirt on it and somebody with a briefcase and a tie, and we ask for a certain law or amendment to be made, and we bring it back to our hood. We keep it in our neighborhood. Think of it as like how you would get your money and your situations and your supporters together to go approach the state to get a liquor license. We could do that. We be doing that business to sell that liquor, right? But think about having our shit together where we can have enough, let we say, projection, enough Excel word processing, documentations where we can hit a projecting screen and show a politician what we want going on, what we see, what we project going on in our neighborhood with our money, what kind of laws we would like changed, because we are pinpointing them, and we know what we be the main one. Be like, stop police brutality, but we don't even know a law attached to it. I don't either right now. I'm talking that shit. I don't, but at least I would, if I'm concerned and that's what I'm trying to fight, I'm gonna go get that law. We go get the representation, and that is what we focus on. We can't focus on 15 different things at once, because that one law that we want to focus on with these politicians may not even get passed. So if you're trying to overwhelm them with 13 different problems we ain't gonna never get nowhere.
That's true.
So, everybody in politics ain't guilty of a crime, because there's been plenty. We can name plenty, and all I got was maybe damn near 100 and something, and fortunately a lot of them were, like I say, just bribes. So I will say, to me, I'm a little bit impressed that we don't have a lot of, I would just say, violent politicians out there, mentally disturbed people, you know, that we seem to be putting in place of our, I would say, advancement. Because right now I keep saying advancement because that's what I'm looking for. I'm always looking for more advancement what we got going on, because we seem to say that we're not ahead. You can have advancement in structure, advancement in knowledge, advancement in unity before you have necessarily the advancement in finances, and you still will be 10 steps ahead. Because if you got everything else you need and all you need is the money, that's most of the battle won.
That'll fall into place, right?
Yep. So with that being said, now that we know how to police our politicians, now that we know what to look for, we can start knowing what to ask for. Or we can start knowing who we don't want in office based off of just greed, man. Based off of unethical decisions, and based off of just something that's just not helping us. So I appreciate my fellow listeners once again, Big Zach, Stan, Antonio, Slick, and whoever else that decided to listen to me today, man, while I rattled on about these politics. Like I said, I told folks I don't really do politics, but at least I put a spin on it.
Right.
So I'll catch y'all next week. I got something dope for y'all. Peace out.
Yeah. Yeah. Grams leaders CC's, pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders of grams, get your dose up, cut this up, post up, and get dosed up. This for them voted like the movement, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk that can't relate. I gotta elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb, and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in those trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that truth serum hooked directly to your vein. Hey, this is for my people.